Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk a bit about the mucusless diet healing system and Arnold Ehret's thoughts on raw foods. Now, a bit of backstory on me. I've been vegan 8 years. I started off my vegan journey on more of a starch-based lifestyle. And then amongst finding Arnold Ehret, the Raw to 4 community, and a lot of different raw foodists, I transitioned to a fruit-based diet. Now, I just got done doing over 30 days mucusless, and I'm still on it. Right now, I'm actually doing raw foods, 100% raw. So I'd like to talk to you in this video about Arnold Ehret's thoughts on raw food diets from his book, The Mucusless Diet Healing System. So let's get into it. Okay. So, raw food diets. At present, among the vegetarian health seekers, raw food diets is checking myself. Raw food diets is in fashion. No doubt, it represents great progress, but the arguments are partly wrong and lead to mistaken and fanatic extremes. They claim all cooking destroys food values, but it should be said properly. Wrong cooking destroys healing value qualities of foods and can even cause them to become acid forming. The raw food experts hint on the same wrong stress as all the others, i.e. the higher food value. The entire effect or benefit from raw food is the rough fiber of uncooked vegetables, which relieves constipation and acts as an ideal mucus broom in the intestines. Now, this was written a long time ago. I'm just going to pause there, and didn't think maybe he knew about things like, biophotons, that's in the food that gets destroyed when you cook. But yeah, I'm just going to continue. I do not believe that the human body assimilates food value vegetables such as cauliflower, asparagus, turnip, potatoes, or from uncooked cereal. I believe he's referring to that in their raw form, and I'm not too sure. After a certain beneficial mechanical cleansing of the bowels through these raw foods, the one-sided raw food eater lacks, in fact, the most important food substance, and that is grape or fruit sugar, unless they eat sufficient fruits. Now that I know for sure, he's talking about just not eating enough. Not getting enough calories, not getting enough grape sugar, he calls it, into the cells. But it's just not eating enough in general. People go on raw food diets and they just live on very minimal amounts of foods, or they eat like 2 apples or 2 bananas and like, I'm done, you know what I mean? And then like they eat like a huge salad or like loads of like raw foods and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they're not really meeting the caloric needs unless you eat sufficient fruits. If you see my smoothies, they're 1,000 plus calories, and absolutely humongous. What he talks about with the raw food, the benefit of raw food is the raw fiber of the uncooked vegetables, which relieves constipation in the bowels. Now, I've done experiments where I eat 2 meals, a big ass smoothie, and for dinner time, either some more fruit and then a big salad. And I go like periods where I'm just doing these 2 meals. But what I do as an experiment, as someone who likes to experiment and try things, one day it'll be raw food, 100% raw. The other day it'll be mostly raw, but with like steamed vegetables. And then another day it would be like a salad, but like loads of like say potatoes, and then a salad, and then on another day a salad and loads of potatoes and rice, and then another day a salad, potatoes, rice, and beans, and and doing all these different things. And by far, the best bowel transit times, the most efficient, the most effective bowel transit times I get in all those sort of different experiments is the ones on raw foods, and the second best is the ones on raw salad and steamed vegetables, hands down. And this is one of the things you will notice if you just experiment. How does something eliminate? And whenever I was doing consistently just 2 meals, I really got in tune with the cycle of consumption, absorption, elimination, and I was a lot more in tune with what foods were coming in and being eliminated efficiently. And the raw foods in the mucusless days were the best, hands on. Significant significant and instructive is this experiment. Put a lemon in a moderate heat for a few minutes, and it becomes sweet like an orange. You develop grape sugar, but let it bake a little too long, or if cooked, and it becomes bitter. On the same principle, all vegetables, when baked, improved by developing more or less starch they contain into grape sugar. This is true of carrots, beets, turnips, cauliflower, etc. So one of the things that I sort of critique, well, not critique, but just I'm aware of from just like studying nutrition for a while, is that the more you bake something, the more you cause something to form like a black outer coating because you've cooked it for too long, you fried it for too long, you've barbecued it. We know that black substance is known as acrylamides, and the more acrylamides you form in the food, the more toxic it is. That's why ideally you want to be steaming or stewing your food. Obviously you have to look at the big picture in terms of like where someone is at. Like if someone is living on McDonald's 3 times a day, but they have like a baked carrot or something like that, or like a baked potato, like that's 1,000 times better than the McDonald's, 1,000. But if we're just talking about nutrition and health in general, and we're looking at the finer details, the more you bake something, the more acrylamides form and the more toxic it is. I could take an apple, and I could bake that apple to the point where it's black and stuff, and eat that, and that's going to be ingesting a lot of toxic substances. So ideally we do want steamed, ideally, or stewed and boiled in water and stuff like that. You can still make fantastic stuff. But yeah, I'll continue. Raw fruits, and if desired, raw green vegetables form the ideal food for humans. He says it right here, my brother. He says it right here. Raw fruits, I will repeat, and if desired, definitely desired, I would add my own personal notes. Definitely desired, do that. Don't just live on only fruits. Raw green leafy vegetables form the ideal food for humans. That is the mucusless diet. But the mucusless diet as a healing system uses rough vegetables for their cleansing, baked ones as food, and baked and stewed fruits as a less aggressive dissolver of poisons and mucus to moderate the elimination in severe cases. That is one of the most important principles of the system, a point the raw food fanatics ignore entirely. So basically what he's saying here is that raw fruits and greens is the mucusless, it is the ideal food for humans, and forms the mucusless diet. But the mucusless diet as a healing system incorporates these cooked vegetables, baked and stewed ones and stuff like that, to moderate the intensity that an individual detoxifies. So if you are, say, So say like you're detoxing too much and you want to moderate it, you want to lessen it, you would incorporate these like sort of cooked foods, cooked vegetables, add in more baked vegetables here, more sweet potato, more broccoli here, just to moderate the intensity that you're detoxing. But he's coming out of here that if you're fanatical, if you're like, yeah, it must be all raw, or like it must be all like fruit, and you're detoxing hard, but then you're like, I don't care, I feel like crap, I'm detoxing too much, I'm just in bed or whatever, and but I'm gonna stay detoxing. It's like, no. You want to back it up. Severe cases, there's times when you want to back it up, you want to slow down, put the brakes on the detox. And he goes here, says eating raw potatoes, raw cereals, and unfired pies. That must be like unfired flour foods. Like let me know, what does that mean to people who practice the mucusless diet and have read this book? Unfired pies is, in my opinion, absurd and worse than if they are carefully baked, which means developing the starch into the least partly digestible gluten, grape sugar. So what he's saying here is, please don't eat raw potatoes. Don't eat raw potatoes. Don't eat raw beans. Don't eat raw grains. Cook those. Cook them. If you're gonna eat them, cook them. John McDougall has already shown that civilizations have done very well on starch-based diets, cooked starch-based diets. The Okinawans, they have 70% of the diet from cooked sweet potatoes. So if you're gonna eat starches, please cook them. You're gonna fare far better if you cook them, because if you don't cook them, those beans and those grains and those potatoes are gonna be very, very toxic for you. It's not a good idea. So yes, that's chapter on raw food diets. Let me know what your thoughts are on raw food diets. I'm currently 4 days into my raw food day. Over 35 days now on a mucusless diet, and yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling very good. There is definitely something to be said here, as Arnold Ehret says, that raw fruits and green vegetables form the ideal food for humans. So let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts, any questions on what other topics I could do, maybe in relation to health, psychology, music, or whatever. Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching this video. How long have you went doing a raw food diet? Peace, love, veganism. I'm out.